I'm doing my day of action today. This is Peterborough City. This is my the property in the city of Whangarei in Northland, Aotearoa, New Zealand. There's lots of trees you can see here. There's citrus, and there is a Casamaroa, Tamarillo. Plums are now flowering in our southern hemisphere spring. Persimmon down here. Plenty of bananas, citrus, and one of my favourites just here is the red banana passion fruit. And there's the fruit there. Delicious. So this is our property, and I live next door to this reserve here, the Pukenui forest, and I'm heading up there now to clear the traps of some of the pests that are degrading the forest. So this is the reserve right next to our property, and during the first COVID lockdown I came in here and took out a lot of the jasmine, which is a really invasive weed. There's some left there. Another invasive weed is ginger. And there's some of the remnants of the jasmine I've removed. And what I'm seeing is that the native plants are slowly coming back. I've planted one or two, but I think that the most useful strategy is to just clear the space and let them come back. This one's here is a kohi kohi. Here's a moss bed. And there's a native orchid. You can just see it's tiny. I'm showing you this because I'm told it's a favourite food of possums. And if these are around, is a good sign maybe that there's not a lot of possums. But I'm told that, well, I was here a few weeks ago and there was a whole lot more. So another possibility is that they've all been eaten. Now, there's only been people in Aotearoa for about 1,000 years. So everything evolved here in the absence of mammals. So the native birds, for example, the kiwi, they're flightless because they had no need to fly. They had no predators. But the mammals now compete for their food and also kill their eggs if they get the opportunity. That's possums, that's dogs, that's cats. So that's why we do this work. Another reason, I think, is that it might well be that eliminating pests does more for the ecosystem, for biodiversity, for carbon capture and transpirational cooling than regenerating new areas of bush or bringing bush that's been degraded back to life. I think Fred Pierce advocates planting 1 billion trees, but he says that it's best to just encourage the conditions for them to grow. So now we're heading down into the bush that hasn't been farmed, and it's more like it's in its original state. These traps are up off the ground, so kiwi don't put their beak into them. Possums live in trees, and they're not nocturnal creatures. They came here from Australia. Somebody thought it was a good idea to bring them here. Beautiful. How's that? So, always happy that I don't break anything on these steep slopes. You can see the sunlight playing through the canopy up there. Those leaves, those beautiful translucent leaves, mini glass houses that trap the sun's energy in the process of photosynthesis, and in so doing cooling our planet. So clever. It's beautiful in here, but what you can hear will be the traffic noise. We're getting closer back to the city. What you don't hear is a lot of bird life. So while the beauty remains, the diversity isn't here. This is the silver fern, an emblem of our nation. Sometimes often used by sports teams. For example, the All Blacks use the silver fern. When you look around the bush here, there's a number of them. They're tree ferns. That's a mamaku. And of course there's terrestrial ferns. This tree's a Aotearoa. It's been flowering, and the flowers are being discarded now. That's a beautiful red flower. It's related to the macadamia. There are lots of seedlings here. There's kohi, karaka, but unfortunately there's also invasive species like this Taiwan cherry. And here's a beautiful totara tree. When the Europeans came, my people, they cut down many trees like this beautiful tree. You can see why it's such good timber. Maori use this species for waka, for canoes. I'm back at the stream I showed you earlier by my place. I come out here where my neighbour lives. He tells me that he's caught a lot of possums, and he's noticed that he's not catching so many anymore. But he's also noticed that the trees are growing, there's fresh growth, and he hears kiwi. Those are all good signs.